Hi friends, welcome to New Channel Knowledge Academy. In this playlist, we are going to make videos on the physics subject, which is the demo classes with the collaboration of the Sri Swaminayak Academy for the NEET and the IIT JEE examination. If you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button so whenever we upload a new video, the direct notification comes to mobile. If any improvements needed in our video lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. So why do waste my time? So let's get started. This is the first chapter, units and dimension. It is a very basic chapter. So with the knowledge of this chapter, we are going to explore more and more concepts in the physics. So in this lecture, demo lecture, the units and dimensions, we are going to learn in a very detailed manner. So the topics which are going to cover in this lecture is the quantity. So what is the meaning of the quantity and what is the significance in the physics? The different types of quantities, what are there in the, which are mainly responsible for the physics to understand in a very detailed manner. All those quantities we are going to learn in a very detailed manner. And similarly, we are going to learn the next is history and the units. So what is the history behind the units? So in the previous, there are different types of different units are used to measure a particular quantity. And what are the history behind that, and what are the units for each and every quantity, we are going to deal under this section. And similarly, the classification of the quantities. So what is the classification of the quantities? So quantities are classified into three types, which is the fundamental quantities and the supplementary quantities and the derived quantities. So what is the meaning of each and everything? We are going to discuss in this section of classification of the quantities and a dimensional formula. See, for each and every quantity there is a unit. So based on that unit only, we are going to write the dimensional formula for each and every quantity. And what is its significance? And what is the significance of the dimensional formula in the for a quantity? We are going to learn this one under this section. And similarly, the checking dimensionally whether the formula is correct or not, means we are going to check. Suppose they are given in any examination, if they given whether to check a given formula is dimensionally correct or incorrect. So that we are going to check with the help of this concept, which is checking dimension with the formula correct. Under the concept, this is used as the concept of dimensional formula. So with this, all these things are going to learn in a very detailed manner in this lecture. So first thing is we are going to learn about the quantity. The meaning of the quantity is nothing but, suppose around you see each and everything around you. Each and everything is said to be a quantity. Means, so the quantity is nothing but for each and every object there will be certain amount of the quality. That quality is said to be the quantity. So therefore, the quantities which are used in there are two types of quantities which are present around the world, which is nothing but the physical quantities. Physical quantities means we can easily measure. So whatever the quantities which you measure, they are called as the physical quantities. And non-physical quantities are quantities which are can't measure, which are not able to measure the particular number of things. Means you can't measure, that thing is called as the non-physical quantities. So for example, for the physical quantities, the examples is mass. So we can measure, and similarly the time also we can measure, so etc. But for the non-physical quantities, you cannot miss the quantities which are not measured. Example, love. So if any two persons are in love, we cannot measure how much amount of the love between these two persons. So this is the love, it comes under the non-physical quantity. And similarly, the friendship is also you cannot measure. So therefore, these two things are said to be the non-physical quantities. Means, suppose there are two persons A and B. So we can only say that these two are friends, whether they are good friends or bad friends, but we cannot tell how much amount of unit we cannot measure. So we cannot tell how much 3 units of friendship or 4 units of friendship or 5 units of friendship, we cannot measure. That's why these are called as a non-physical quantities. But if you come to the love, if it is 2 persons, how much is the amount of love? Whether it is a 3 units or 4 units or 5 units, you cannot give an exact number for the love. That is why these two things are come to the non-physical quantities. But if you come to the physical quantities, the physical quantities which are easily measured, means for mass is nothing but for weight. Suppose its weight is 3 kg amount of weight we can measure. So therefore this comes under the physical quantities. And time is nothing but 5 hours. So you can give a number. The numbers are to quantify. So this is called the quantity, and this is called as the unit. So therefore, for each and every quantity there will be a number, and also there will be a unit. So therefore, suppose if you take a 5 watt, so there are 5 amount of power. 5 watt of power means a bulb can give a 5 watt of power, means this 5 is called as the number which is used to quantify the quantity. So this number is going to quantify the quantity, and this watt is the unit of the power, unit of the power. How much amount of power the bulb is going to deliver, this unit tells about the how much amount. So the number is gives the how much amount of quantity, and the watt gives the unit of the power. So in our physics, we are going to deal only about the physical quantities. So only the physical quantities which you are going to learn in the physics, but not the non-physical quantities. So the physical quantities are divided into 3 types, which is fundamental quantities, derived quantities, or supplementary quantities. I am repeating again, the physical quantities are of 3 types, which are the fundamental quantities, supplementary quantities, and the derived quantities. So these three we are going to use in our physics in a very detailed manner. So we are going to use these units in a very extensive manner. So again, the physical quantities are again classified into 3 types, which is nothing but the fundamental quantities, supplementary quantities, and the derived quantities. So the fundamental quantities means these are the basic quantities. These are the basic quantities, which are nothing but mass, length, time, current, and temperature, and luminous intensity, and the amount of substance. So these are the very 7. These are 7 fundamental quantities, which is mass, length, time, current, temperature, luminous intensity, and the amount of substance. So these are the very basic quantities, which are basic quantities are also called as the fundamental quantities. So in the history, what happened is previously different countries are going to use the different numbers units. So for each and every quantity they have used a different unit. So that is the main problem. Suppose if you want to communicate between these 2 countries, then there is a huge problem because of the units are very different. Units are very different. So suppose if they used here meter, they have used some miles. So previously they don't know the conversion between these 2 things also, different countries. So whenever if you want to communicate these 2 countries, there is a huge problem, because if the suppose in the country A, for the length, if they use the unit is meter, they may use here miles or something yard. Sorry, also they have used here. So because of these conversion problems, so what happened is scientists has thought something, which is every country, means all the world, the people in all the world must use a single system. So that is the reason. So nowadays, so because of this scientists only, now we are going to use the same unit for the same quantity all over the world. So therefore, now the problem of communication between the 2 countries is reduced. So therefore, these are the fundamental quantities. So for each and every quantity here, there is a unit. These units are used by all around the world. So these are fundamental quantities. So after some gap here, after 10 years, first meeting. So the first meeting, after the 10 years of the first meeting, the scientists said they have again used another different types of quantities. So therefore, they have figured out the 2 more quantities. These 2 quantities cannot be represented in the past quantities. So they have got 2 new quantities which cannot be represented in the past quantities. So therefore, what they did is they have given a new unit for these 2 things. Plane angle and solid angle, these are the quantity, and the units I will describe in the later. So these are plane angle and solid angle, which are the new quantities. So for these quantities, the different units, so we can't express these quantity units in the previous things. That's why they have introduced the new things. Suppose in the later world, if they got the new quantity, they will introduce only in the supplementary quantities. So up to now they only got 2 supplementary quantities. So therefore, that's why it is called as supplementary quantities, because after 10 years of gap they have made this one. That's why it is called as a supplementary quantities. So finally, these fundamental quantities and supplementary quantities are basic units. So with the help of these units only, you can write any expression for any formula for any of the quantities which you want to discuss. So therefore, derived quantity is nothing but with the help of these 2 things, we can go for the another important formulas or important expressions for different amount of quantities. So therefore, force can be represented in the fundamental and the quantity and supplementary also. So therefore, force, work, power, energy, etc. All these quantities we can represent it in the form of the previous 2 quantities, which is the fundamental quantity and supplementary quantities. That's why these are called as the derived quantities. So now we'll discuss what are the different types of unit systems, what are type of different unit systems which are used in the history. So therefore, suppose in the country A, they have used the FPS system. FPS is nothing but foot pound second. Foot is nothing but a length of any distance, and pound is nothing but a unit of a weight, and S is nothing but second, means unit of time. So for FPS system, suppose country A is using, for the country B, they have used the CGS system. CGS is nothing but centimeter gram second. Centimeter is the unit of the distance, and the gram is the unit of the weight, and second is the unit of the time. So these are the different types of unit systems. And similarly for the country C, MKS system. MK is nothing but meter kilogram second. So therefore, meter is nothing but the unit of the distance, and kilogram is the unit of the weight, and second is the unit of this time. So therefore, because of this confusion, because different types of countries are using different units, so it is hard to even do the conversion, and also the reference, the base reference. So here foot, what is the reference? Based on what reference they have used this foot system, so it is also varied. So therefore different countries have used different systems, and also the reference is also same. So this is a main difficulty. So this is a main difficulty to communicate between the different countries, and also the reference, base reference on what this unit is based is also different for each and every country. So this is a huge problem to communicate between the two countries. So what happened is finally the scientists sat and they want to make only one unit system for all the countries, means all the around the people must choose only single type of system, the single type of unit system, which is not a SI system, means internationally only one standard of unit, which is nothing but a SI system. So now we will discuss what are the SI units for the 7 fundamental quantities, and also the derived quantities and the supplementary quantities. What are the SI units? Now we will discuss them in a very detailed manner. So now we will discuss the quantity and the SI unit. So this is the SI unit. This unit is used as the base for each and every country are going to follow this SI unit system. So therefore, the 7 fundamental quantities are mass, length, time, current, temperature, luminous intensity, and the amount of substance. So the corresponding units we will see here. Mass, the SI unit is kg. And similarly for the length, the SI unit is meter, and for the time, the SI unit is second, and for the electric current, means current in a wire, the unit is ampere. And similarly for the temperature, the unit is Kelvin. Means we have also seen the Celsius, but that is not the SI unit of the temperature, which is the Kelvin, but we can convert from degrees to Kelvin by using a certain formula. So therefore this is the temperature, and similarly the luminous intensity. This is for the bulbs, how much amount of intensity the bulb is going to give, that we measure with the help of SI unit candela. And similarly the amount of substance which is used in the chemistry, how much amount of the substance we are going to use, the unit is mole. And similarly the 2 supplementary quantities are nothing but plane angle and solid angle. So plane angle is nothing but a angle between the two surfaces. This is called the plane angle. Angle between any two surfaces, that we are called it as a plane angle. But if you want to make any cone, suppose there is a cone like this cone is nothing but this angle theta. This theta is called as a solid angle, but this between any two surfaces we call it the plane angle. So therefore the angle between any two solid surface we call it a solid angle, because it is going to enclose the volume of a surface. That is why it is called a solid surface. But this is only an angle between the two surfaces. That's why it is called as a plane angle between any two particular planes. But here it is solid geometry, means you are going to get any closed surface or a sphere or structure we are going to get. That's why it is called as a solid angle. But here only between the two surfaces. So this is the meaning of the plane angle and the solid angle. So with these are the very basic units or the basic quantities. With these quantities, based on this reference only, we are going to move further to make and everything in a very detailed manner. And the unit of solid angle is steradian. So now what is the reference? Means 1 kg means what is the reference, and similar the reference for the meter, second, ampere, Kelvin, candela, mole, radian, steradian. All things, what is the reference? Means what is the basic thing, from that we are going to extend. What is the basic thing that we are going to learn in the second lecture. So this is the main concept of this one. So basic SI quantity and the SI unit. So we have discussed the fundamental quantities and the respective units. Now we will discuss the derived quantity and also the units. So some of the derived quantities I am going to explain here. So with this concept you can move forward to learn about you can write the expression for the different types of the derived quantity. So therefore the first thing is area. area is nothing but length into width. So therefore area is equal to length into width. So here length and width are measured in terms of meter, because length and width are also in a meter length. So therefore length is nothing but a unit L, and similarly width is also a unit of L, means distance. So therefore L into L is nothing but L square. So this is the unit, which is L square is the dimensional formula. It is a dimensional formula for this area. So therefore now volume is nothing but length into width into height, So therefore all these are nothing but distances, means we can measure in terms of length. So therefore now the dimensional formula of volume is nothing but L cube, because L into L will become L cube. So this is a dimensional formula. And similarly speed we can write is nothing but distance is equal to speed into time. So therefore speed is equal to distance by time. So here distance is nothing but length, we can measure in terms of length, and time is nothing but here we can measure in terms of second is nothing but time t. So therefore here L is the dimensional for the distance and t is the dimensional for the time. So therefore we can write, if the t goes to upper part, L into to the power of minus 1, or we can write in terms of like this also, m to the power of 0 into L to the power of minus 1. Here m is nothing but mass, L is nothing but length, t is nothing but time. So therefore by seeing this formula you can blindly say that it is independent of the mass, but it depends on only length and time, and it is directly proportional to the L and it is inversely proportional to the time t. So with this dimensional formula also you can figure out what is the nature of the speed. So blindly by seeing this dimensional formula also we can figure out what is the nature of the speed. And similar density is nothing but mass per volume. So per unit volume how much amount of mass is present, that we say it to be a density. So mass, so it is depending upon the mass and volume. So mass is nothing but m. This is dimensional formula for the mass is m. For volume, which we already discussed, the dimensional for the volume is nothing but L cube. So therefore L cube. So if you do this, it will become m into L to the power of minus 3. We can write in another fashion, m into L to the power of minus 3 into t to the power of 0. So it means that by seeing this dimensional formula also we can tell that this density is depending upon the mass and it is independent of the time, but it depends on L cube, means cube ratio of the L. So therefore by seeing the dimensional formula of density also we can figure out what is the nature of this density. And similarly acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity, means velocity by time. So velocity is nothing but also a speed. So but velocity is a vector quantity and speed is a scalar quantity, but that we will discuss later. But similarly the basic formula is nothing but velocity is nothing but here speed by time. So speed we already know. The dimensional formula of the speed is I have already, which is m to the power of 0 L into t to the power of minus 1, or basically we can write L into t to the power of minus 1 by time t. So therefore if the t goes to the upper part it will become L into t to the power of minus 2. So therefore this is the dimensional formula for the acceleration, means it depends, it is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the square of the time. And force is nothing but mass into acceleration, but we already know the dimensional formula of mass is m and the acceleration is L into t to the power of minus 2, which you already figured out. So therefore m into L into t to the power of minus 2 is the dimensional formula for the force. And similarly now the work done, the basic formula of work is nothing but force into displacement, but displacement is nothing but distance, but displacement is a vector quantity and distance is a scalar quantity, but basically the formula is same, it is force into distance. So the dimensional formula of the force. So here for the force m L into t to the power of minus 2, but we already write it is a Newton, but simply we can write it as a Newton is nothing but this whole expression is belong to now Newton. So therefore here force is nothing but here m L into t to the power of minus 2, and the dimensional formula is distance is nothing but L. So therefore here m L square t to the power of minus 2, or you can write in another fashion also, which is Newton meter also we can write. So therefore if they ask what is the dimensional formula for work, which is m L square to the power of minus 2, or we can also write which is Newton meter, it is the unit of the work. And similarly now pressure is nothing but force per area. So per unit area how much is the amount of force that is said to be the pressure. So the dimensional formula of the force, which you already know, which is m L t to the power of minus 2, but area is nothing but L square. So therefore now you are going to get from here m into, as a 2 goes to the upper part will become 1 minus 2 is nothing but minus 1. So therefore m into L to the power of minus 5 into t to the power of minus 2. So therefore So this is the derived quantities. So the formula for the derived quantities are based purely on the fundamental quantities and the supplementary quantities. So based on that, we are going to write the dimensional formula and the relation from the fundamental quantities. So therefore, this is the basic concepts of the dimensional formulas for this all these derived quantities. So these are the very few dimensional formulas of few derived quantities. In the later lectures, we will discuss each and every derived quantity and its dimensional formula and also its unit. So now we are going to discuss the homogeneity principle. So what is the homogeneity principle is, this is a very important concept. Based on this concept only so many amount of IIT problems are based upon. So here the homogeneity principle is nothing but here, suppose the similar quantities we must add or whether we must subtract. Suppose if you take 2x means 1 egg plus 1 egg is nothing but 2 egg, means you can add only same quantity. Suppose if you are adding 1 egg with plus 1 chapati, you cannot add like this because both are different quantities. So therefore always you need to add the same amount of quantity. 1 egg is nothing but 1 egg plus 1 egg is nothing but 2x, and similarly 4 kg of rice and 2 kg of rice is nothing but 6 kg of rice, and similarly 4 kg of sugar and 2 kg of sugar is, now you will get here 6 kg of sugar. But you cannot write 4 kg of rice and 2 kg of rice. You cannot write 4 kg of sugar and 2 kg of rice. We can't get here for 6 kg, but you need to add similar quantities. Suppose if you are taking sugar, here also you must take sugar. So therefore the result is also a sugar. If you take here rice, the same thing again rice. Here also the result is rice. Means you need to add or whether you need to subtract same amount of quantities. The same amount of quantities. If you take rice, all the rice. If you take sugar, it's a sugar. If it's a liter of milk means the same quantity has to be there. If you take time, same amount of for all the things, same thing is the quantity time. So all the fundamental and supplementary quantities, you need to use the same expression. So therefore in any given equation, the same amount of quantity you need to use. If you use time, so for each and every quantity in each and every term in expression, you need to use the same time. If you use your length, so each and every term must be length, then only the equations will hold. So therefore what I am trying to say finally is, homogeneity principle tells that in a given equation, each and every term must be of same quantity. Means you can either add or either you can subtract based on only the same quantity. You cannot add or subtract two different quantities. That is the meaning of the homogeneity principle. Now based on this concept, we will learn few examples. So after that we will close this lecture. Now we are going to solve a small example here. V is equal to u plus at. So this is the formula which is used in the kinematics. So final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus the acceleration into the time period. So therefore the time duration. So therefore here v is nothing but final velocity, means velocity. So therefore the formula for the v is nothing but. So the formula for v is nothing but here v is nothing but speed. Speed is distance by time. So therefore distance by time is nothing but here m. Distance is nothing but here l. But time is nothing but here t. So therefore L into t to the power of minus 1 is the dimensional formula for the velocity, and similarly for the next thing is u. So for each and every term, so this is the first term, second term and the third term. This is the whole is called the third term. So therefore for the u, now for the u, what is the dimensional formula? See, u is nothing but again the same velocity. Velocity means length per time. So therefore here L into t to the power of minus 1. So therefore this v has the same thing, same dimensional formula, and u also has the same dimensional formula. Now we need to check whether at has the same dimensional formula or not, because we can add only two similar type of quantities. So the first quantity is nothing but here L into t to the power of minus 1, and similarly the second thing also, the second term must be also the same type, which is L into t to the power of minus 1. We need to check here. So therefore a into t, so a is nothing but acceleration is nothing but velocity per time. So velocity per time into time. So therefore here velocity is nothing but here, now we know dimensional formula L into t to the power of minus 1 by time t into t. So t get cancelled. Here also L into t to the power of minus 1. If you see carefully, every velocity v dimensional formula is L into t to the power of minus 1, and u also has the same dimensional formula L into t to the power of minus 1, and similarly at is also L into t to the power of minus 1. So finally means the same quantities are added to get the different same quantity. Means you can add only similar quantities. So for the dimensional formula u and dimensional formula of at and the dimensional formula of v, all three are same. So therefore finally what I am trying to say is, this formula is dimensionally correct, and the actual formula is also correct, because the actual formula we know V is equal to U plus AT. So therefore actual formula I will discuss in the kinematic subject here, kinematic chapter. So actual formula is also correct. So based on that we are going to figure whether this formula is dimensionally correct or not. So dimension is also correct. So therefore what I am trying to say is, if the formula is dimensionally correct, then it may or may not be actual formula correct. But if the actual formula is correct, means it is always a dimensional formula correct. So let me discuss it. So suppose V is equal to U plus TAT. Now I want to check whether this formula is dimensionally correct or incorrect. I want to check. So velocity V is nothing but here same. I already discussed the dimensional formula of velocity is ln to the power of minus 1, and similarly U is nothing but again ln to the power of minus 1, as we already discussed here. And the AT, because 2 is nothing but a constant. For a constant there is no unit, so therefore you need to eliminate the constant term. So therefore the remaining term is A into T. So the unit, the dimensional formula of A into T is also L into T to the power of minus 1. So you can conclude this each and every term now having the same dimensional formula. So therefore the formula is dimensionally correct, but the actual formula is incorrect. By the actual formula is V is equal to U plus AT, but they are given here 280. So therefore the actual formula is wrong, but the dimension is correct. So what I am trying to say is the thing, but if the actual formula is correct, then 100% the dimension is also correct. If the actual formula is correct, means then the dimension is also, the formula is 100% correct. But if the dimensional is the correct, means we cannot say that is the formula is correct or not correct. Means we can't sure, we are not 100%, we can't tell whether the formula is, actual formula is correct or not. But if the actual formula is correct, then we're damn sure, then we are going to say that formula is dimensionally correct. But if the dimensionally the formula is correct, we are not going to say that formula is 100% correct or incorrect, which you see here also. Actually is, if the actual formula is correct, then finally the dimensional formula is also 100% correct. But if they only give a dimension, this formula is correct, check whether the formula is accurate or not, we cannot tell accurately. So therefore this is the concept of this one. So now this is example 2. Now we are going to check that this formula is a dimensionally correct or not. So this formula belongs to kinematic chapter. Vf square is equal to Va square plus 2x. So Vf is nothing but the final velocity, and Va is nothing but the initial velocity, and A is the acceleration, and S is the displacement. So therefore here Vf, now we are going to write, so this is the first term, this is nothing but a first term, and this is the second term, and this is the third term. So for each and every term we need to check whether they are dimensionally correct or incorrect. We need to check. So therefore now I am going to write the dimensional for this Vf square. So we know the Vf is nothing but velocity is nothing but distance by time. So distance, the dimensional formula of distance is L and the time is T. So therefore L into T to the power of minus 1. But we want Vf square. So therefore Vf square, the dimensional formula of Vf square is nothing but L T to the power of minus 1 whole square. So if you do the square, it will become T L square into T to the power of minus 2. So therefore the dimensional formula of Vf square is nothing but L square T to the power of minus 2. And now the second thing is Vi square. Now Vi is nothing but, it is also a velocity. So velocity is nothing but distance by time. So distance, dimensional formula is length, and the time is T. So therefore L into T to the power of minus 1. But we want square. So Vi square is nothing but, here same thing here, L square into T to the power of minus 2. So now the first term and the second term both are dimensionally correct, which is L square to the power of minus 2 and L square to the power of minus 2. Now we need to check whether the third term, whether it has the same dimensional formula or not. We need to check. So here 2as, 2 is nothing but a constant. So the dimension of any constant is nothing but 0. So therefore no need to take the 2. So therefore now we need to check as. So as is nothing but here, S is the acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but velocity by time into distance. So velocity is nothing but again meter per second. So therefore meter per second is nothing but, meter is nothing but L. Here time is time will become T square. So therefore T square, and distance is again L. So therefore L square into T to the power of minus 2. So now finally all these three terms are having the same dimensional formula. So therefore here this dimensional formula is L square to the power of minus 2. For the second term is also L square to the power of minus 2, and the third one term is also having L square to the power of minus 2. So finally what I am trying to say is, the principle of homogeneity says that you can add only similar quantities. Means all the quantities must have the same dimensional formula, then only you can add the two similar quantities. So therefore this formula is accurate. So therefore this formula is correct. This is the actual formula. Vf square is equal to Va square plus 2a square, and also this formula is dimensionally also correct. So this is the Third example, T is equal to 2 by root over L by G. So this is nothing but this formula belongs to simple harmonic motion. So the time period, so if you take any length L, so pendulum, so if you give a moment, what is the time period of the oscillation? Means, you suppose if it is going from here, from what is the duration from here to here? What is duration? Time period. So what is the duration? So T is equal to 2 by root over L by G. So this is a basic formula which we will discuss in the simple harmonic chapter. So here we need to check whether this formula is dimensionally correct or not. So therefore here this is only one term, this is one term, and this is also second term, because there is no addition terms here. So therefore there is only one term for this also. So totally this equation has two terms. So we need to check what is the dimensional formula for each and everything. So time T, so T is nothing but, then the dimensional formula of T is nothing but T. So therefore the dimensional formula of T is nothing but T. So this bracket indicates the dimensional formula of the time is nothing but T. So therefore, so now this 2 pi, the second term 2 pi constant, so 2 pi is a constant, so it is always, the constant has no dimension. So therefore now we need to find what is the dimension of the root over L by G. So root over L by G, this is a term L by G. So L is nothing but length. So therefore the dimension of length is nothing but L. Again, the dimension of acceleration is, I have already told you, acceleration is nothing but, G is nothing but acceleration here, acceleration is nothing but velocity by time. So velocity is nothing but distance by speed, distance by time into time. So distance is nothing but L, dimensional formula of distance is L, and the T in between is nothing but T square. So dimension of time is nothing but T square, so now T square. So now I need to substitute here in place of G, L by T square. So L will get cancelled, here it goes T square. If the T square goes to upper power, it will become T square. Now under root of T square is nothing but T. So finally the first term has same expression, the dimensional formula is T, and the second is also having the same. So therefore finally LHS is equal to RHS. So therefore this formula is dimensionally also correct one. So therefore what I am trying to say is, the homogeneous principle always tells you can add only two similar quantities, or that you can subtract two similar quantities. That is the meaning of the homogeneous. So based on that concept only we have solved few examples. Here we have discussed some of the basic concepts of the units and dimensions in a very detailed manner. If you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button so whenever we upload a new video, the direct notification comes to your mobile. If any improvements here in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. So this lecture keeps smiling. Take care and bye bye.